evidence in the Michael Jackson investigation. LA police detectives interrogate Jackson's former housekeepers.
Mr. Killer, are you still willing to go to the United States to testify against Mr. Jackson?
I indicated my intentions to go if I was asked.
Now, Hard Copy reveals what the cops have learned.
We have to maintain integrity in this investigation.
Exclusive. This is Hard Copy for Wednesday, September 22nd, 1993.
Hello and welcome. I'm Barry Nolan.
And I'm Terry Murphy. Glad you could join us.
We'll have the new evidence Los Angeles police have discovered in the Michael Jackson investigation coming up. But first, tonight, the thoughts and prayers of many are with the victims of the deadliest crash in the history of Amtrak. It's too soon to know exactly why it happened, but this morning's light clearly revealed it was a scene of both horror and heroism. Some had taken the train because they feared to fly. Who hasn't seen the terrible pictures of twisted metal surrounded by flashing emergency lights? Pictures that we normally associate with the tragedy of airplane crashes. But last night, as most passengers were drifting off to sleep, lulled by the comforting rumble of train travel, there was the awful sound of screeching metal, and then the jolt, as the Sunset Limited left the tracks and plunged into the dark waters of an Alabama bayou.
The train started to slow down, and I woke up, and the train was like a roller coaster slowing down very quickly.
The train was crossing an old wood and steel bridge built in 1909. It's a remote, swampy area just outside of Mobile, Alabama. According to the manifest, there were 206 people on board, 206 travelers in the night, headed perhaps to see their loved ones or headed home.
We were on the bridge at the time, and the bridge collapsed in the middle, and that went straight into the water. And the front car and the engines that were driving the train, that was just a light, like completely exploding. It was like just like an orange sort of. Well, the whole sky was completely orange and smoky and etc. And everyone else was like swimming to get to shore.
As dawn broke, the magnitude of the tragedy became clear. One of the train's cars was completely submerged, and with so many passengers missing, it was feared that dozens had become trapped inside the wreckage with no chance to escape. But amidst the horror, there was also hope and heroism, as dozens of survivors were pulled to safety.
And my initial reaction was to get down by shore and help the people, the elderly people especially, that were, completely exhausted from swimming from the coaches that were in the water.
The Sunset Limited began its journey in Los Angeles. That's where Sig and Edith Steinberg got on board on their way home to Fort Lauderdale after visiting with relatives. They were among the lucky ones, passengers who were able to call their loved ones with the words, "We're okay."
I could see them in the car in the river. I mean, that's what I saw in my mind. When Alan picked up the phone and he said, "Siggy," I just broke down. Just a sense of relief, such a wash came over me. And I'm very fortunate. We're very fortunate. There are many people today who are not so fortunate.
For those whose relatives were still missing, there was nothing to do but wait. Such terrible tragedies do have the tendency to bring out the best in some people. As sheriff's spokesman said, people came from all over to this inaccessible bayou to help with the rescue, that the swamp was alive with rescue vehicles.
Now new details continue to unravel in the Michael Jackson investigation. Yesterday, we reported that Los Angeles police detectives had arrived in Manila to interrogate Jackson's former housekeepers and personally examine a diary which the servants claim contains incriminating evidence. Our Diane Diamond is here right now to tell us what they found. Diane?
Well, Terry, LAPD detectives went halfway around the world to try to find the truth in a diary that may be the key to the Michael Jackson investigation. They did indeed get a look at that diary. They hope to be able to bring it back to California. But Hard Copy has learned those detectives also got a look at much more.
We also have no comments to make.
To the world press, these two detectives offered no clues about their 6-hour interview with Mark and Faye Quindoy, a Filipino couple who say they supervise Michael Jackson's staff at his Neverland Ranch.
Just like the officers here, we cannot comment. Just say adieu at this time.
But hard copy has learned that the Quindoys gave the investigators the names of 4 young boys whom they believe the superstar molested. They also provided police with what they say is corroborating evidence. First and foremost, Mr. Quindoy's daily diary, in which he says he noted all the instances of abuse he witnessed.
But everything's here in this diary.
The Quindoys also gave investigators photographs of the 4 young boys they named, their phone numbers and addresses. Also, receipts for lavish gifts. Freelance journalist Kathy Griffin spoke this morning with the Quindoys about their meeting with police. What did the Quindoys tell you they told the police?
They gave up the names, phone numbers, and addresses of boys that they believe have been molested by Michael Jackson.
Kathy Griffin met the Quindoys 2 years ago while researching a book on Michael Jackson. So why did it take the Quindoys so long to speak out?
Finally, one parent and one child had the guts to go forward. And look what's happened to them.
There is a matter of them having a $500,000 claim in back wages against Michael Jackson. Does that taint their story in any way?
It doesn't taint what they saw. The stories they told me 2 years ago are the exact stories they told me 3 weeks ago when I was in the Philippines. Their story has not changed.
The 2 detectives say they plan to stay in Manila through the end of the week. Another session with the Quindoys is possible. Reporters are now wondering if this couple, the first adults who claim to be eyewitnesses to molestation, will return to the United States to testify against Michael Jackson.
I indicated my intentions to go if I was asked.
Were you asked?
No comment.
You have to understand we have to maintain an integrity in this investigation. Therefore, like my partner told you, you can refer to Los Angeles Police Department.
Of course, the LAPD is making no comment at this time. And by the way, the Jackson camp would not return our repeated phone calls.
Thank you, Diane. We'll keep investigating these new allegations and bring you the latest details as they develop. Now, you may recall our story